Okay, here we are sitting at Priceless Farms. We've got some beds going in. There's some field being put to a moringa behind you here, and the guys are working hard. Tell us a little bit more about what's going on in the background here.
Well, right now, we're just coming into our second rainy season, and when you're working in the hot, wet, dry tropics, it's really, really critical to get your timing right. So we are preparing 1 acre back here. We've got 15 more acres like this to prepare within the next 2 weeks, and we have a small window of opportunity to get all of those beds in. And this field here is being put to moringa and bird's eye chili. These are two crops that we've got strong market potential for. The bird's eye chili, we have a guaranteed market, and the moringa, we're still speculating, but we're looking at a lot of profitability from the moringa crop. And even if we can't find a moringa market, the moringa itself adds massive value to the farm. Not all farm products are just used for making money, and that's one of the key systems to understand what makes a permaculture and a sustainable farm different from contemporary monocrop farms, is that we look at the value and the intrinsic characteristics of all living things for what they can do for each other, for us, for the animals, and for the environment. And so just to give you an example with moringa, if we can't sell moringa and we don't find a market for it, which I think is out of the question. I think right now the global market is trending towards more superfoods. Moringa is on the top of the list in terms of nutrient-rich foods. And because of this, it has a natural characteristic that when you feed it to your goats or your cows or your pigs, it increases their growth rates and it increases their milk production rate up to 30%. And so that's a huge increase. And of course, all of the health benefits that people get from eating moringa transfer into those animals as well. So we're going to grow about 15 acres of it here alongside with our chilies, and it's just going to massively increase the productivity on our farm. The animals have a much stronger immune system when they have a supplement of moringa, fresh moringa leaves in their dietary regime. And the tree itself has over 250 known medicinal uses. So, I mean, we could make a whole documentary just about the moringa tree, and I'm sure there's plenty of them being made right now to promote this wonderful product. The seeds clarify the water, so we can use the seeds for purifying some of the water that we have. And excellent oil, you can make teas from it. And it has immense benefits when people add it into their salads and add it into their meals. If you get about 1 gram a day of the dried leaf powder, you're going to have a really, really strong immune system for the rest of your life. It cleanses your liver and so on. So all of those things are coming out of this field behind me. I guess one more thing I would mention about the fields and the way in which we're preparing it. Most farms in Uganda, when they come to prepare a field, they kill and clear everything. First, they start by lighting it on fire in the height of the dry season. So this kills all the understory, all the bushes, and of course all the rodents and all the insects and all the birds and the bugs as well that are living in there, like lizards as well. And so we don't do that. So that's the first big thing, is we don't bush burn on our land. We fight the fires back. And then number two, we also keep, as you can see, there's all these different shrubs, like this little bush behind me right here. This is a tree, as a matter of fact, and it's been chopped in previous years. And so when I came to the farm and I started managing and teaching the students here, we teach them that when we're clearing the field, we selectively keep certain trees, most of the trees, and we keep most of the bushes, so that we do create sort of both an above ground layer of shade and also habitat for birds and insects, but also underground, the root structures of these various different bushes are holding the soils in place, and they're enriching the soils so that when we come in to establish our crops, like the moringa, like the chili, and et cetera, there's actually a really healthy organic root structure there and an organic soil base. Whereas the alternative of bush burning and just clearing absolutely everything, it is turning the landscape slowly into a desert, because when the heavy rains come, and we get heavy rains here, if there's no root structure, if there's very little life on the soil is being baked by the sun, it's already been cooked by the fire, and it just runs off with the rain events. And this is a tragedy, and this is something that the whole world is facing right now, is this massive soil erosion due to the die-off of all the biological organisms that make that soil as fertile as it is. So we're reestablishing the original jungles. We're protecting the original baby trees, which are still surviving. And then we're coming in and we're adding on top of it layers and layers and layers of the things that we want. So we've got different types of species that we use to demarcate the landscape. So we've got this culture that we're building into our staff, whereby the landscape and the life forms, and particularly the plants and the shrubs and the trees that we're planting, are communicating to our staff about where they are on the land. So when you see a certain type of bush, you know that you've reached an edge of a field, and it makes it really easy to work in. So very difficult in the beginning to establish. You know, it takes about 3 years to really get a very, very nice crop and good fields out of this. You start harvesting things like chilies and moringa in your first 6 months, but it really takes about 2 to 3 years where you see, okay, these are some of the best soils in the world. Every year, the soil is increasing in mass and fertility, and that is the solution for humanity. That is the future of our species, a healthy one.